Hello and welcome to the lesson. Today we are going to study the key components and the benefits of risk appetite framework. Those are two things. One, key components of risk appetite framework. Two, benefits of risk appetite framework. But first of all, what is risk appetite? What's the meaning of risk appetite? Now, risk appetite is the level of risk that an organization is willing to accept in pursuit of its objectives. So you may have companies that have high risk appetite, others with low risk appetite. So risk appetite is the level of risk that an organization is willing to accept in pursuit of its objectives. So what are the key components of risk appetite? Components. What are the components? What are the elements of a risk appetite framework? The first component is risk appetite statement. A risk appetite statement. Now, this is a high-level statement that articulates the organization's overall risk tolerance, aligning with its strategic goals and values. And this statement should be clear, concise, and easily understood by all the stakeholders. So that's the first component, risk appetite statement. It articulates the overall risk tolerance, aligning it with its strategic goals and values. Two is risk capacity. Risk capacity is a component of risk appetite framework. This is an assessment of the company's financial and operational ability to absorb losses or setbacks due to risky events. And risk capacity helps to determine the maximum level of risk that can be undertaken without jeopardizing the company's viability. 3, risk tolerance. Risk tolerance is a component of a risk appetite framework, and the specific level of risk the organization is willing to accept in different areas of operations, and that can vary depending on the nature of risk and its potential impact. That is risk tolerance, the specific level of risk that an organization is willing to accept in different areas of the business. That is a component of risk appetite framework. 4, we have risk metrics. Risk metrics and limits. What are risk metrics? Now, these are measurable indicators and thresholds that help monitor and control the organization's risk exposure. And the limits can be set for individual risks or even the aggregated risk across multiple risk categories. So it can be individual or aggregated. The limits, the risk metrics, these are measurable indicators. 5 is risk management policies. And procedures. The risk management policies and procedures also form part of the risk appetite framework. This is a set of guidelines and processes that outline how risks are identified, assessed, managed, and mitigated. Right? Risk management policies and procedures. These are a set of guidelines, and the policies should be aligned with the organization's risk appetite and regularly reviewed and updated. This is number 5. Then ETC. So let's discuss the benefits. What are the benefits of a risk appetite framework? The first benefit is strategic alignment. Strategic alignment. Now, a risk appetite framework ensures that risk taking is aligned with the organization's overall strategic objectives and values. That's the first benefit. 2, informed decision making. Informed decision making. The framework provides a framework for evaluating risks and making informed decisions about risk mitigation strategies. That's the second benefit. 3, increased stakeholder confidence. Increased stakeholder confidence. Now, a company that develops a risk appetite framework demonstrates a commitment to sound risk management practices, thereby building trust with the investors, regulators, the government, and other stakeholders. Right? Improved risk management. Improves risk management. A risk appetite framework improves risk management. Right? It helps organizations identify and manage risks more effectively, reducing the likelihood of negative impacts or events, the impact and impacts of negative events. So these are the components and benefits of a risk appetite framework, which requires some seriousness or or collaborative effort to implement. And this is collaborative effort between the board of directors, the senior management, and risk management professionals within the company. The framework should be tailored to the specific needs and circumstances of the organization, and it should regularly be reviewed and updated as needed. And here in Kenya, the Capital Markets Authority Code of Corporate Governance for public listed companies emphasizes the importance of a robust and a comprehensive risk management framework, including a clearly defined risk appetite statement. The CMA also requires listed companies to disclose their risk management policies and procedures in their annual reports. And therefore, candidates, by establishing and maintaining an effective risk appetite framework, companies can enhance their resilience, they can protect their reputation, and they can also achieve their strategic objectives in a sustainable manner. That's all we can say for today as far as risk appetite framework is concerned. We've defined risk appetite as the willingness of an organization to it is the level of risk that an organization is willing to undertake in pursuing its overall objectives. Here is your today's assignment. 1. How does the board determine an organization's risk appetite and tolerance levels? 2. What factors are considered when establishing a risk appetite framework? 3. How does the risk appetite framework influence decision-making processes within an organization? 4. How often is a risk appetite framework reviewed and updated by the board? 5. What mechanisms can be put in place to monitor adherence to the established to the established risk appetite? I repeat, number 5. What mechanisms can be put in place to monitor adherence to the established risk appetite? That's today's assignment. Bye.